RootsOfTheSwampThing.com, your definitive online source for all things Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing is heating up. A brand new series coming from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. A brand new TV series on DC's streaming service online. RootsOfTheSwampThing.com. A lot of stuff about his history, what he's doing today, and everything in between. Go to RootsOfTheSwampThing.com for more information. Welcome to Wednesday Comics.
Brought to you by RootsOfTheSwampThing.com and SuperCon 2018 Return of the Con.
Hey everyone, keep turning those pages.
Welcome to Wednesday Comics. To my right, we have King Shark himself, Alex. How you doing?
Hello everybody.
And across from me, Bane himself, Garrett. How you doing?
Doing good.
And I...
What the hell was that?
That's my Bane voice.
Doing good.
Dude, I'm doing the one that's comic accurate, not the Tom Hardy one where it's like, good. Okay, I don't know.
I
am doing.
Marvin, your host, the Bronze Tiger, they call me. You know where they call me that? The club. Guess what club? AV Club.
I was like, Clip David.
Oh, dude.
AV
Nobody
Club.
gets that reference.
This is the Wednesday Comics podcast, excuse me, I'm way back. For the week of 10/10/2018, we're going to read some books that came out on 10/10, but before we get there, a little news came out this week that was a little surprising, I would say. James Gunn, when he was fired off of Guardians, where we talked about that, was like, hey, bring him back. And they were like, no, he's not coming back. We're like, okay. They just announced, DC just announced he's writing Suicide Squad 2 with an eye to direct, possibly. And I bet you the only thing stopping him from directing is giving what he wants, like being able to be like, hey, I can do whatever I want, right? And like get some stuff in the contract. He's at least writing it for them. And they said two things. One, it's not going to be a direct sequel to the first movie.
Probably a good idea.
So that tells me new members, new people. However, I don't think they can ditch Will Smith and Margot Robbie, so I'm pretty sure Harley Quinn and Deadshot will come back, and maybe the other people have died between movies.
I would
think
much rather
Boomerang
just
would
see
come back.
I'd much rather see the team that we just made with the three of us than
Well, I'm
bring
saying
back all the
you
other-
could, James Gunn could make like a little funny action scene in between where you see them all die and they'll still only two survive. And be like, oh, okay, well, now we need new people. And the movie's about, they get new people and then they go on a new mission. And the thing also that we know is Batista tweeted out being like, I'm ready, let's go. Like he's ready to sign up for that movie, he said. So he's interested in it, and there's no way Warner Bros. Is like, nah, we don't need you. Like,
Yeah.
So that'll happen. It's just going to depend on contract or what do they do with him in those Guardians movies. I mean, he could be in both things. Nothing's stopping him from doing that because who else is in both universes?
Or didn't... who did I see that's in both?
I know there are people who are in both. God, I can't even think of it now. But in my head, I'm like, they're not like major characters, obviously, but they're like side characters that are big enough roles that it's just kind of weird that they're in both things. Can't really think of it right now, and it's kind of weird because
Yeah, I'll say we're one of our statements is that they're in both, but we don't know any of them.
Yeah, that's right. Well, no, that can't be. I was gonna say Josh Brolin, but he's in two Marvel movies. Whatever. I know there's at least one guy, and I'm gonna look it up here in a second. But what do you guys think? Garrett, what do you think? James Gunn of writing a Suicide Squad movie, and then Alex, what do you think about brand new members? Like, who do you want to see on there? Garrett?
I'm excited with James Gunn being on that script because anybody that's watched any DC movie in the last 5 years knows that story has been a real issue for a lot of people. James Gunn is very talented. The first Suicide Squad movie was okay. And I think that's only if you actually know what that team is. If you don't, then people thought it was like the best movie ever came out. And I'm like, are you crazy? Like, that was so bad. But I think James Gunn can do exactly what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. Make it fresh, fun, and just seriously like badass and full of action. So I think he's like probably one of the best writers to do this. And I like the idea that he's kind of basically rebooting it because that first movie was crap.
So I think if they're going to all the DCU other than Wonder Woman needs to be rebooted.
There's no way they're going to do that.
No, I know. And I mean, and stop working towards the big showdown of Darkseid. No one gives a shit.
Well, they're not going to do that anymore.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that instead of trying to let this movie be new.
Alex is saying pivot. Like,
So, yeah.
wherever you're going, like, it's not working out, obviously. I do agree, like, but I think this way you were just about to say, instead of going with that grand plan you had before, don't abandon it completely, but also change what it is, right? Aquaman should live in it. Here's what I was thinking the other day, and let me know, Alex, if this is what you were trying to say. Why can't these movies be all connected, but they don't have to be? Make an Aquaman movie, and then maybe Superman shows up for like a scene, or they like show Superman doing something in like a news thing, like that it's connected, or like a Superman villain shows up, and you're like, oh, that's Superman's villain, so Superman must exist. Superman doesn't have to show up. Batman have him go against like a Green Arrow villain, or have Green Arrow go against a Batman villain. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're like, or like Batman and Deathstroke, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And he talks about how he just fought like the Green Arrow, and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's connected, kind of the way the comics are, but they don't have to show up.
Right.
They don't have to be specific to each other. They can just be.
And you don't have to build towards like a Justice League movie. Just have them team up, or have two of them team up in a movie. That's it. Like, have a movie that has Aquaman and Batman. Have a movie that has Aquaman and Green Lantern. Like, you have everybody in the same movie.
Right.
And like, that's the movie. Like Green Lantern. If they had a Green Lantern Green Arrow movie, which we know in the past they've shared a comic together, fine. You don't, but that doesn't need to build towards the Justice League movie. That just needs to be that movie. And then maybe in that movie they get help from Batman. They call him up and say, "Hey, we need your help with this thing," and he like hooks them up with something. Maybe the Batmobile for a day or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like something to be like, "Hey, they're in the same world, but I don't need to the obvious like, oh, there he is," to know that they're connected.
Why are they standing on that cliff for 3 minutes?
It'd be like Captain American Winter Soldier. They talk about Hulk being a character. They talk about these other people, but they don't have to show up to be part of this group. It's just they live in that world.
Just mentioned, yeah. That way, and I think that's what I saw before Jeff Johns left. That was his idea. I was like, hey, we're scrapping the whole connected storyline thing. Well, why can't we just make great superhero movies? And yes, there will be a connected universe, but there's not going to be some big overarching plot. But now Jeff Johns isn't in that position anymore, so hopefully Jim Lee is trying to keep everything the same, but I don't know.
Well, I want good stories from these movies. I don't need you to rehash something that's already been told, or if you're going to,
well, no,
and maybe that's the point. Is then
that's every comic book movie ever.
Why can't they have an original story? Why does it always have to be?
Because they don't exist.
Great thing that we can now screw over for you guys.
Every single Marvel movie is based off original story.
No, I understand that. I'm just stating that obviously they can't tell a story. DCU.
No, they try to do their own.
Yeah,
thing.
and they fuck it up. So
exactly.
at least tell a different story that you're not ruining.
So they need to like adapt things basically and tweak it a little bit.
I'm pretty sure that Aquaman movie is based on Jeff Johns' run. It seems like all the trailers look like it is.
Was Aquaman always like rock on? Look at all these sweet tats and.
Well, that's different because you get Jason Momoa in that role and Mr. Briggs. So. Did you watch that extended trailer?
No.
I wasn't going to watch it because it seemed like it was most of the movie, but I did watch it. It's only good. It's only like really one real.
It's only good a little.
Well, I was going to say it's only like 2 scenes really instead of like more of the movie that I thought. And I only watched it because I kept seeing people talk about it, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I've heard all about this already, so let me just watch it. Actually looks pretty good. However, we have been tricked in the past. I'm still not also like 100%.
Right.
I didn't buy my ticket. Like be like, hey, I'm going to buy my ticket because that. But I also do feel more confident that it's going to be okay. But it does look like it's based on Jeff Johns' run mostly.
No, so. I won't believe that until you guys convince me I should go see this movie with you.
I'm just saying, Patrick Washburn does not do a movie that
he can't support.
Well, I mean that.
Patrick Washburn, who's that?
The King
Patrick
Orm?
Wilson.
Wilson. Fuck, I always do that. Yes, Patrick Wilson.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I agree with that. He's in pretty good movies.
He was in Watchmen. He's Owlman. Owlman is...
Oh, really?
Yeah, is playing King Orm.
The reason why I was hesitant because he's he's not bad in that trailer, but he's also not the most exciting thing about that trailer.
You see him for 2 seconds.
I know, that's what I said. He's not bad, but also he didn't get me excited. Black Manta though? Ooh, buddy.
Yeah, it's so pumped.
Oh, by the way, this is here today.
I would have saved that for a little bit later.
Yeah, I thought you were going to do a grand reveal.
No, I almost hit it.
Like in the game, you're just like, bam, and we're like, holy shit, that's amazing.
That was the weakest reveal of that belt.
So if Marvel was a superhero, he would have been the guy that accidentally knocked something over when
I get too excited. I hit the belt too early. So
Lame
Wow.
boy. That's your
That's
super.
a
I'll wrap it up
Personal
later.
problem.
The spell's got a story. It told me. I gotta let you guys know. But I am excited to see what happens out of that. It does seem like James Gunn. Here's the thing: what I got out of the Aquaman trailer. Let me talk to you for a second, Alex. 101 here.
Let's turn my mic
What
off.
I got out of that trailer is that they're letting James Wan do what he wants. It looks like a James Wan movie. It looks beautiful. It's the first DC movie since Christopher Nolan that looks like a big budget movie. My issues with Suicide Squad, my issues with Justice League is like they look like they're cheap. They look like they're not finished. Like even in scenes when like there should be a bunch of people around like running because like all this chaos is happening. There's like 5 people in the streets. And it's like, what do you film this like on a whim? You're like, get everybody who's on set to run around. Like they hire no extras. In that Aquaman movie, it looks like a movie. And then in the Joker movie that's coming out, that's an Elseworld movie from Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix. They showed a clip of that. It looks like a real movie. So I think maybe finally they decided, because they did get new people in charge of like creating that universe. They kicked the old person out. It does look like finally they're just like, hey, make a movie. And so they're hiring creative people to let them do that. Now we'll see evidence of that if that Aquaman movie is good. If that's good, then I can be more excited for Suicide Squad. I can be more excited for this Joker movie. But that will be the absolute litmus test, is if that Aquaman movie is good. If I go to that movie and it's the same bullshit again, where I can tell that it's just Warner Brothers and DC being like, hey, make the movie we want to make rather than James Wan's movie, then I'm done.
Yeah.
No,
we gotta show.
I say Suicide
I
Squad
mean,
2. If
We
James,
gotta show. That's too much curiosity in that Suicide Squad 2 with James Gunn. Like, why would he? He literally could be doing anything right now. Why would he go back to a big company after a big company just screwed him over? So obviously they told him something that he likes. And
maybe it's, hey, you
hopefully
can bring
it's-
in any characters you want.
that's what I mean. Hopefully it's like, do whatever you want.
And say, because then, like you asked me, who would I think should be brought in? Bane is a great one, and give him the Bane who's literally wearing the sweet luchador mask. I think King Shark. I know he's in the Flash that CW universe, but he can be the Hammerhead. that he is
Bronze
in the
Tiger.
club.
Multiverse, man.
Catman, Bane.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many
Poison
other
Ivy.
characters, and it doesn't have to be. And I
Dude,
realize
I love seeing a Poison Ivy.
Deadshot, and I realize Harley Quinn will most likely have
Harley
to be
Quinn?
in it. But yes,
Well, if Harley and Poison, you get the nice friendship there, right? And then also you get another
More than friendship.
it's a nice move into something else. Gotham City Sirens. You're opening other
Yeah, that'd be
doors
good.
where
There you go.
things make
you
sense.
can spin it off into that movie. Yeah.
So right there, we're tying in. Hey, there's a bigger world than just these two girls.
That's what I mean. Yeah, then that spins off to something like it necessarily doesn't have to be like that movie is made. That's what that feels like. All these movies have been made for the purpose of Justice League. Make a movie for making that movie, and then if something happens there, like you do the Sirens thing, like that's all like, you know, that's the cherry on top. Being like, hey, we can spin this off to something else rather than be like, here's the purpose movie just for this. Let's make a movie to push the different movie. Then it's just an ad.
Yeah.
It's an hour and a half ad.
Well, and even right there, then you're getting the Batman universe without having to have Batman show up. You're getting Flash. I guess I don't know. King Shark's just kind of all over the place.
Oh yeah,
isn't
King
he?
Shark. We need him in the movie.
Yeah, I want
I need
King
him.
Shark.
I need to see somebody get chomped in the half. And
I want him to just go on tricks and then bite someone's face off.
was Suicide Squad rated R? I forgot.
Yeah, no,
No, I think it's PG-13, but they had a rated R version.
Oh, okay.
the extended cut.
Yeah,
But I'm
which is
pretty
like
sure-
2 minutes.
Cutting somebody
Nice
in half,
try,
that's
Green Lantern.
PG-13, right? If King Shark bites
I think if
someone,
you don't show it, you're fine. And since he's animated,
or if there's no blood.
yeah, well, no offense, there needs to be blood,
Not if they're in water, dude.
even more blood.
So I look forward to that. We'll see what happens there, but that movie's far off, so we'll see. Aquaman's the next one we gotta watch out for.
Isn't it Aquaman, Shazam, and then what's after that? Oh, it'd be
Wonder
Joker
Woman 2.
then already. I don't even know if Wonder Woman 2 is on the docket yet.
1984.
Yeah, but I've heard that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker movie's coming out October 9th.
Oh, really? Next
Next
year already?
year, yeah.
Wow.
They already got the release date and everything.
Really? I thought it was like March.
That's October.
Should we get into some books here, boys? Captain America #4. This is Lonell, Francis Yu, and Ta-Nehisi Coates. This is Winter in America Part 4. Inker. Oh, excuse me, color. Sunny Go. I also want to mention because some great colors in this book. What do you guys think? We're I got digital version as usual, but what do you guys think? We're 4 issues into this series, and I know we've praised the first 3. Do you think it still continues that, or are we a little done with this? What do you think?
I think that it's still on par with the first 3 issues. It's really great. I don't think the only part I didn't like about this issue, and I'm just going to say it right out the get-go, is how they like kind of made everything with like Wakanda and Black Panther exit stage left, they're like, oh, we got a big treaty here. We can't touch this. And I was like, you literally were just in a mission where you helped take out like a million nukes. And I wish there would have been maybe, I don't know. I know it's all exposition anyways, but I think for me, it's just like, oh, sorry, Cap, we can't come with you on this one because politics. Like, I wish it was just like, yeah, like if Black Panther, like Cap goes to them, was like, hey, can you help me with this? And he's like, no, I don't think that we can't get in this fight this time.
But I liked that point that it wasn't just like in another book we're going to talk about later where everybody's just together beating the shit out of somebody. He literally has to follow. There are rules that as a king, I need to follow. I can't just go into some other sovereign land and destroy stuff or break things. I have to follow their rules as well as they would have to follow mine.
I know, but it was like a telephone call like, sorry, bro, can't make it. Bye.
I'm not even near you, bro.
I was going to say, that didn't bother me so much. I did think what Alex said, like it's more of a world book and being like, hey, I was like, oh, okay. That's all I thought of. Then I moved on because it's not Black Panther's book. So
I just mean like with how crucial they were to the last issue for them to just
he helped them
like poof off into nowhere.
Yeah, but that's that team up issue then where it's like, hey, I need you for this big mission. I can't fight all these guys on my own.
That's what I'm talking about. In these movies, they just need a phone call and be like, hey, Black Panther.
But I don't know. Seems pretty.
That's how Chadwick Boseman gets paid extra money. I lent my voice and they showed my face for 10 seconds saying, sorry, Cap, you're on your own.
Taskmaster, I love.
Taskmaster was cool.
I love that he showed up here, and I love that. So Taskmaster could go one of two ways. He's a very dangerous person to go against because he can learn any kind of fighting style, learn and mimic your fighting. But also, like he's also played for laughs a lot of times, especially in that Secret Avengers we used to read, remember, by Al Scott.
Yeah, he's more like the comic relief.
Yeah, he was really funny. I did like in this issue that he's played a little bit more serious and actually like a foe for Captain America, like one-on-one. Like he talks about how like he's so hard to beat because he can start mimicking your style in seconds, and then all of a sudden you can't defend it anymore because he knows everything you're going to do, which is kind of a scary kind of villain to go against because like remember in X-Men, those, what do they call them? Sentinels? Remember they had the same kind of thing? They learned your fighting powers and they became you. That's Taskmaster, and so in this book, I actually did when he showed up, and then they show those scenes where they're fighting, which actually is great. Noel Francis Yu's art in that section is great. That's probably my favorite part of this issue was them fighting and being like, "Oh, cool!"
I think I prefer Taskmaster to be more serious because a lot of the time he is made to be that jokey, chatty character. What book was he in recently that he and Black Ant talk all the time?
Oh yeah, Spider-Man.
And it's like, yeah, maybe for that book, that character mesh fits, but I always liked Taskmaster being more of a formidable foe. To me, he's kind of what a Deathstroke would be, where he does his thing, and he really is immaculate at it. Because when you hear in the issue, you're seeing 3 different panels of Taskmaster fighting like Iron Fist. No, not Iron Fist. Iron Fist, Captain. And who was the first one?
I can't remember.
Do you remember, Marvin? Who the first panel of his fighting style was?
I got it right here. So this is the
was it Black Panther?
I don't think it was Black Panther. But regardless, so he learned. I liked that feeling, and more importantly, that skull that he's wearing or whatever his mask is was great. You don't see his pupils; it's just he's a skull fighting. I loved it.
Yeah, he's not like Deadpool talky, but he's still a talker. Which that's where I think I like your comparison to like Deathstroke. Like Deathstroke can be quippy, but I mean not like funny quippy. Yeah. He's more like
there's your mistake.
He's like he'll find that one little spot that he can poke you, and he's just gonna keep fucking poking you.
Swordsman, Iron Fist, and then he was Cap. Which that's what he means. Like within 3 panels, he's already fighting like Cap, and then Cap can't defend himself anymore because he's fighting himself. Then at that point, and it's kind of like when you play those racing games and you're a ghost, you're going against your own ghost. And it's like, how do I beat this guy? It'll be like, I literally can do this. You have to figure out a way to not be yourself anymore.
That's when you bring out the Megaton hammer and you crush that Shadow Link.
At the end, Sharon, we find out that, God, what's his name? The villain of Ed Brubaker's run, one of Ed Brubaker's villains. Oh, come on, get back.
And so we got into a space that I was unsure of. I wasn't reading Captain at this point.
I think everything was Sharon. This entire issue, like the B story.
Alexander Lukin. So
we have no idea what that's about.
Alexander Lukin, issue 42 of Captain America, which I own somewhere around here. Yeah, it has to do with Black Widow and Sharon. I remember briefly. I looked at the cover and kind of got flashbacks like that, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
I don't want that.
No. That was me blacking out.
Oh, I see. I gotcha. I got a little concerned.
But I actually do recognize the name, and that's who Red Skull was pretending to be in the Winter Soldier arc.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
that's his daughter, and then the person that mutant person have Sharon.
Celine.
But she's now it makes sense. Like before, I was like, "Who cares about this Sharon thing?" and like these villains. But now it's like, okay, so it's Captain's old villain's daughter wants to kill Sharon because Sharon killed his dad, or she wants to torture. She ran out to torture her. So for information, probably figure out where Cap is. But also, the Cap's coming to rescue her. So now we kind of merged from the first couple issues, which were very political about like, what is America anymore? Do they actually want me to fight for them anymore? Or are they content with being what they turn into? And now it's like they were all turned that way because of Russian interference, right? They said they found the heartland, and these people, like, they were able to use them and turn them like, oh, we didn't have to do much. We figured out already that they thought the same way we did, and all we had to do was kind of twist it a little bit, and then they went with us, which is still very political compared to, it is still making an allegory for today's politics, but I actually do love the way it has that in the background, but it's not really about that. You can look at the comic book aspect of it, but also in the background, there's that political aspect about it. The art's fantastic, and I think this team is going to put out a good run. I was thinking that when I was reading this issue, though, once Lionel Francis Yu is off the book, is it going to be as good? Because I love that art a lot.
Depends on who you bring in, because the status quo has already been set that this book is a fairly realistic looking book. And even what Captain's doing is not overly super. I mean, he's got super strength, but it's not over the balance that would make sense. I think it just depends on who you bring in.
I would imagine that people are looking at this like something they want to work on. So maybe Coates will have like a list of people he can choose from rather than having to find somebody. You know what I mean?
Is he already planning on leaving, Lionel Francis?
No, but Francis Yu is usually really slow. So
this comic's coming out really slow.
I don't know.
So
I'm still surprised that he's still on the book, and maybe that's Marvel giving them the benefit of being like, hey, it comes out when you want it to come out, which is great. And I'm glad that they haven't replaced him yet. But I see a time when maybe he's going to delay it, and they'll be like, hey, we're going to find somebody else. I'm not sure.
But at that point in time, so you give him an arc off, you bring in somebody else. Who would be great would be Acuna, but he's already busy doing Black Panther.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that art style has that same kind of fundamental. His is a little more explosive and in your face, great coloring. But I don't know who would you bring in, because now for me the what I expect from Captain is what we're getting right now.
Well, we're only on issue 4, so let's not count our chickens before they hatch.
Yeah, sometimes you got to count those
early.
chickens. Sometimes those foxes sneak in and destroy things.
So this arc is going 6 issues and Yu's on till the end of the first arc, but they haven't solicited any more, which surprises me.
Captain's going away.
Which surprises me because 7 at least should be solicited, right? Or it's going to be solicited this month.
Yeah, it should.
So we'll figure out when the solicits come out, if he's still on the book or not. And then we'll figure that out then. But I love this team. I still like this book a lot. It is definitely... You know what's funny? Black Panther was a very slow-going book, right? And there's a lot of dialogue. Like, a lot of what made that book slow is that Black Panther talked a lot. In this book, it's also as slow, I feel like, but there is action instead of dialogue. Like, Captain talks with his fist a lot. So it is a lot of action scenes, which plays out slower. And I think it works a lot. Like, Black Panther, I want to go back and read it, but it's better to read that kind of dialogue content and trade, because like I got 5 here and it's not going to matter. But I feel like the action works because the inner dialogue works a lot. It does feel like camp, and it doesn't feel like unnecessary and just like filler being like, okay, I get it, he's fighting this guy. Every single panel in here feels like it means something when they're doing action. It doesn't feel wasted. Like, a lot of times I know people would be like, oh yeah, he's fighting Taskmaster for 3 pages and there's like most of it silent panels. Can we please like move on? And it's like, no, but then this, I feel like it's all necessary. Like, every single one I'm like looking over, and it has to do with excellent art, but still I feel that it's well paced, even though it feels kind of slow.
Right.
But I don't ever feel like, I know it's slow, like in the back of my head, I'm like, hey, I know like barely things happen in this book, but I still enjoy it.
Right. Well, I mean, it just makes it seem like it's going to be very grand and epic, but that gets me worried that Acuna's already leaving after, not Acuna,
Francis Yu.
Yeah, Yu is leaving after 6 issues, and I don't know if it's going to be the same story after he leaves. Not a big
We'll
fan
see.
of
I just
that,
hope this
but-
book doesn't devolve into, comic books as comic books are, rather, and it keeps this kind of pace with, commentary along with comic books. You know what I mean? It doesn't just evolve into like some event book, like they get tied in and stuff like that.
Right.
Leave that out of it.
I'd give it an 8.
9.
I give this a 9. I actually really enjoyed this issue a lot.
Alex, what else have we read?
Farmhand number 4, written and art by Rob Guillory. I even had it in my head. I was like, I can do this, no problem.
This book is amazing.
Yes.
I'm so glad I got it. Me and Alex, we're both big fans of Goosebumps. And for some reason, I get a Goosebumps vibe from this book. It reminds me of that Stay Out of the Basement book.
Guess what vibes I get out of this? I caught up on this baby.
Did you really?
Yeah.
No, you did not.
Yeah, I did. I said if you put on the list, I would read it. I read 4 issues.
Bull fucking shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
All
What'd you
right.
think?
Welcome, Marvin.
Is this for you?
Yeah, it is definitely very lot like Chew. And basically, I felt like a lot of it was basically Chew. It's just Chew in a different setting, different story. But
Well, even Poyo was in it.
yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
chickens.
sitting on the
He
lap.
loves chickens.
Uh-huh.
Rob Guillory. What I thought about this book, well, first off, the main character is just Rob. Like, it's pretty funny that it's just him. It looks like him, and there's that little.
What, Zeke?
There's the There's a 12 panel page or 9 panel page. I forget what it was. And one of the issues where they talk about how he became an artist, and people are like, oh, trying to pay him for his work, and so it's basically just Rob. But I don't find that it takes me out of the story at all. It just feels like I know that, and it's funny. It's one of his in jokes, being like, "Oh, this is him," and all that stuff was supposed to be funny. Be like, "Hey, this is what my life is," and then you get into the aspects of the story. So it's funny, it's gross, but it's also a little mystery. And I feel so. John Layman wrote Chew, but Rob did the art, but I feel like a lot of them contribute because this does feel a lot like Chew, except it feels like Chew if Chew was a little bit more serious. And if Chew usually had a mystery, but it didn't feel as dark. This feels way darker than Chew, and I actually like it a lot.
The story is very, like you said, what you said about the comedy and the fun, but it's seriousness. But, it's also oddly, and this is very loose, so comic community don't hate me, but it kind of feels like Royal City, at least with the family dynamic of it all. How
There's some dysfunction there. Yeah.
Right, a lot of dysfunction, and you really have to look in the background to notice that dysfunction. I mean, the son and his dad really play it off hey, it's okay, but behind each other's backs, they're like, gosh, we just really don't get along. We don't have that connection like we used to. And even in this last issue, he finds the rifle that his dad taught him how to shoot with, and that brought flashbacks. And
well, it's serious, and that's what I mean.
Right.
In that issue, and that's even the gun flashback. He gets it. It's a serious moment, and then in the memory, he remembers a joke his dad said, "Don't shoot your dick off," and he laughs and he goes, "You're funny even back then, old man." So it's it's touching, but also it's funny, and I really do enjoy it. Chew for me. And I don't know, maybe somebody else got something different out of Chew. But Chew I loved, but it always felt like it was fun, always. There were supposed to be, there were moments where they tried to make it, very serious and, characters would die. But I always felt like it was always, a comedy, and then that would happen. And it was supposed to meant to, shock you and be like, oh, Jesus. But it's hard to switch gears that fast when you're reading something. Where this feels like it's just a natural blend of all the genres. And so when I'm reading this, it just feels eerie, and so the darkness works and the humor works because of that.
But I think the one thing for this book is that Rob does everything. So he's writing, he's doing the art, he knows how the things will fit together. Where I don't know how John Layman does his scripts and stuff for Rob to have looked at for Chew, but it's kind of the intention of, hey, figure out how this will work. And I think this book it seems so smooth and it reads so nicely. And I don't know if I laughed out loud in this issue because this one seemed a little more serious because you're getting Andy coming back in the beginning from getting her leg blown off. Yeah. And I said, yeah, to Marvin showing me the cover.
I told you about it.
I just was surprised. I've been talking about it for 4 months.
Yeah, I said on the forecast, if I say something, I keep my word.
oh yeah, what about Descender?
I didn't see it on the forecast.
But yeah, this is a cool backstory with Andrea finding out how she basically got
Syndrome was blackmailed.
Yeah, blackmailed is, I think, loose.
Or extortion. I mean, there's something going on from the military who sent her back to town, to her hometown, to investigate her dad's. It's not a secret organ farm, but there's something going on that we're not sure of. And Grandpa seems awfully
hush hush.
Hush hush. Something's gone wrong.
By the way, I mean, and also like I feel so in terms of what I was saying before about the humor, there's way less jokes in the background. Like in Chew, it's like every panel in the background there's some sort of joke, and it's really that's what I mean about being like really like a comedy more than anything else. But in this book, it's just every once in a while there's a joke in the background. It's not as much. So there's a lot of backgrounds where it's just plain like it wants to make sure you're paying attention to the plot and not looking. But every once in a while there's like when they're in the feed.
At the store,
it says illegal cockfights held out back. Shh. There's like a sign, and then when they're in the bar, there's where is it at? There's a sign that says, "Bar loving. What's the worst that can happen?" And it's like just a sign somebody wrote, and so like there's little things like that that's just like, oh, okay, that's funny. But in Chew, there was like pictures of Robert Kirkman in the background and like him making jokes, being like, and like he wanted you to look. And so I feel like in that aspect of it, it's more a believable world than she was. And so I think that's why it feels more real and the drama kind of works more. But I really did enjoy it. It was fun catching up.
Are you going to keep getting it?
Yeah.
Doubt it.
There was one scene that I thought was really deep in this book. You know, we had that flashback with Andrea's whole life in the army and everything, and then she's back at Zeke's farm, young Zeke, right? Because aren't they both named Zeke?
Who?
The main character and his dad. Isn't it like
Is it
Ezekiel
junior and senior?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Andrew's going to bother Junior, and there's this moment where she's out on the farm just like looking out and just like, God, I just want to get out of this. And then literally she has to put on her act again to like talk to Zeke. And I was like, wow, that 2-scene like transition, I was like, that is so cool. You can portray that through art, just showing her just being like, God, I just want to be fucking done with this. And then like, well, I got to go pretend again.
You can see how much like she's selling her dad's secrets, and she doesn't even want, like she doesn't have a leg, but instead of getting a replacement from him, she just gets a steel leg. What's it? Carbon fiber?
Yeah.
So it's like...
we didn't talk about that fight scene. That fight scene was awesome.
Yeah, the fight scene was pretty good. But I mean, like, that shows like how much she does not want anything to do with that farm.
Yeah.
Like, she won't even take like a replacement leg that would be like a real leg for all they know. But also we see it's not exactly happening the way they want it to happen. There's some side effects. But she didn't want nothing to do with it. She's like, just give me a fake leg then. She'd rather take a fake leg than a replacement that would look like a real leg.
Right.
That's how much she hates that place.
Well, and also I think she doesn't understand everything about that place yet, because like she's collecting intel for the government, but she doesn't know exactly what's going on. Like only Senior knows exactly what's going on. So I give this issue a 9. I really enjoyed it. I'm loving this series, and I can't wait to read the next issue.
9 for me.
Yep, 9.
Next, we have Immortal Hulk number 7, written by Al Ewing, and the return of Joe Bennett on art.
I missed Bennett on this book.
Oh, he's such a great artist.
This issue felt like what we started out with. This was a horror book in the end,
Right.
and I was really impressed with how the Avengers and how it was just handled in this book. I was a little nervous how do you have
a little
the whole
crossover-y.
Do you boys notice they fucked up? Cap has an orange suit for like 3 panels.
Oh, and Captain Marvel has long hair.
Look at this shit.
Oh, I don't think that's right then. I think on digital, I think it's screwed up.
Nah, look at your issue.
I don't have it with me. I'll have to look
When you get home, look. I bet you.
I'll send you that picture. When it's blue, you'll be like, fuck you, digital. You're screwing me over every which way.
I had to show Marvin because, Brie Larson's got long hair in the movies. Now they put long hair in Captain Marvel. I'm like, man, she's got to have some great hair like growth formula, because like that shit grew quick.
But when you look at the cover,
I know it has short hair.
No, I'm pretty sure that was Captain Marvel as the man.
Oh, Alex Ross's version?
No, no disrespect. Great looking cover. But I look at her face, and that is one manly face.
Yeah.
You guys both like this issue?
Yeah,
I did.
Really enjoyed it.
I didn't like it as much as the other ones.
I enjoyed
Too much
the
going
end.
on. Yeah, I like the end. Dan was good. I just don't understand. Here's what I don't understand. I'm going to go Alex here for a second. You're fighting the fucking Hulk. Yeah, fucking Captain Marvel, which is one of the strongest people in the universe. And you say, hey, Cap, you take him. Caps, you get crowd control of Marvel. It's like, no, you take Cap. Captain America is in crowd control. Marvel takes him out. She's fucking strong. Why you get to send her to take care of the crowd? That's some fucking
but no one's going to believe Captain. No one's going to believe him.
No one's going to believe Captain
America.
He's trying to get it back.
He's Shield or he's
be scared of him
Hydra
then.
Cap.
They're going to be scared of him then.
Hey, you're right. That's pretty Alexy, if you ask me.
Also, when are they going to fucking figure out? I guess it worked though, so fuck me on this point. But when are they going to figure out that that Hulkbuster suit
doesn't do shit against the Hulk?
Do something else, buddy. Like it never fucking works. But they keep sending it after him. Plus, it's like, why Tony? I know Tony. Come on, think about it. Why go one-on-one with the Hulk? Make some sort of thing like you're far away, multiple things come out around them and shoot them.
Multiple Hulk busters.
Yeah. Or that, or maybe make something like, you know how in Avengers Infinity War he had that thing that popped down and they were like, what do you call that? Drones, kind of. They were kind of like drones. And they would shoot, like make a billion drones that shoot them from afar, and that's it. Why you gonna go one-on-one?
I think he thought just because he was there with his team, which that's part I didn't get. Like the end of last issue, Hulk comes upon the Avengers, and then he's fighting them one-on-one each, basically.
I find it interesting that Ghost Rider got taken out so quick when literally, dude, you're already dead. So he's beating the shit out of you is going to be nothing. I don't know if Hulk just put him back in his car, crushed his car, and then threw his car.
Yeah, Black Panther got taken care of.
She-Hulk, that fight with She-Hulk was great. I like that.
That part was awesome.
I like that part a lot.
But I mean, going back to Joe Bennett, the way he draws Hulk's face.
Joe Bennett's great.
Oh, amazing.
Dark was great in this one.
Hulk is like smiling, and that's the intelligence part I was talking about, how he's so terrifying, is like he makes fun of Jen for having fear problems. He calls Cap King Hydra. And I loved when Cap was like, that wasn't me. And I was like, yes, it was.
And what Alex was saying, like Joe Bennett draws like a horror book. He draws Hulk like a monster.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't draw him like to look like anything like a human. It's just like draws him to look like he's scary. And that's what I love the most is like what Gare was saying too, is like the way he draws the Hulk, fantastic.
Well, at the end of this issue, so who do we run into? It's not Ross who's got it. Ross gave Hulk to this group. Who's the group?
Oh, there's something operative or whatever they're called. There's so many different...
They are Welcome to Shadow Base banner.
Oh.
So anyway, they
blow him to Timbuktu basically with this giant laser.
Well, the Helios and they sun UV ray him to obliterate. They obliterate him. He's just a dead skeleton for the most part, or goo.
The Hulk. Well, I know he's split into several parts.
Well,
he got brought back to Bruce or to
he gets
Banner.
disintegrated to flesh and bones, but barely any flesh, and then they cut him up and so he regenerates, but he can't obviously get back together because he's in jars, multiple jars. By the way, did you like how they kept the hands together like that? So you got those, they sell those Hulk hands. That's what they got now.
Yeah,
just carve them out, and you got some Hulk hands. Wow. This for me was 8. Nice.
I would say this is probably actually a 7.
No, I'm gonna stay with an 8. I think Joe Bennett returning to the art definitely amped me back up, and there's enough connections to the previous storyline and issues that it gets me excited for what's to come. Like Sabretooth, not Sabretooth, Sasquatch's alter ego.
I'm rethinking my rating just because. On the grand scheme of things, I said I didn't like as much as the other ones, and I believe you gave the other ones like 8s, so 7. I'll say 7 too. It wasn't bad, but also I felt like I liked the kind of one-off stories that were like Hulk being a monster, that kind of stuff. And so the last issue in this kind of connected, and
I'm glad they did this because this was the elephant in the room. You couldn't have done this like if you did Alex Brain.
Well, I don't know.
How can Hulk be running around causing all this havoc and not have the Avengers be like, oh, what the fuck, Bruce is?
And I agree with that because at this point in time, he's broken some kids, he's beaten the shit out of other people. Other people that he's beaten have been found. At some point in time, the Avengers get called in.
I guess maybe.
But the timing does make sense.
And now that we're through that part, though, now we don't have to return to it. Now it can stay those little short stories that you like. But the Avengers realizing one of their fallen comrades basically died, and then he's back to life.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing I would do is I would be like, whoa, what the fuck, you're alive? That's what they did. And then Hulk decided to beat the living piss out of them, so they fought back, and then here we are. Hulk split into 6 jars.
I think I don't care. I like the idea of the Avengers team. Where the hell was Doctor Strange?
Yeah, true.
Someone who could have just encased Hulk in something and gotten rid of it that way instead of there's something about the Tony Stark part in this I don't care for.
Yeah.
One, he literally just nuked this whole city. I don't know. And I realize the whole issue they're talking about, we shouldn't have to do this. You're going to hurt people. No, you're just going to bring them into space anyway. It'll be fine. Really? I don't know. There's things that I expected more from parts of this book. But then when I got to the end of that, that's pretty scary shit.
Yeah. I'm going to do this book just because I have it right here. And you guys might be mad at me. I'm going off of just picking a book here. Let me get to the title page here. The next book we're going to review is...
Wait for it.
Catwoman number 4 by Joelle Jones. Art for the present story, and she wrote it, obviously, and then for the past part, Fernando Blanca. Colors for the past part, John Calise and Lauren Aldred on the present colors. 2 things here. First off, this book is beautiful, every single issue. Even this one's not even like when Flanco does it, no different. She found an artist that is like comparable to her style, but also draws people that look like it's a kind of like a cleaner kind of look, and so they look younger, and so which is a nice choice to pick for the past art. So I did enjoy that. I enjoyed this issue. I can see where Garrett was coming from. You didn't read this, right, Garrett?
No, I dropped it.
I can see where Garrett was coming from. He said it's a little slow, but I think the art's so beautiful. Like, I don't care.
No, it wasn't the story was slow. It was just that what was the point? There's no point of that series right now.
We're examining character right now.
I think that's something I like. That this is more than
it's
just
Batman 50.5 and it's boring.
Yeah. Oh, really? I
don't find it boring, guys.
I really enjoyed it because this is the.
What's the plot?
It's her finding herself.
Black Mask did some torturing in this issue.
Pumped out some dude's eye, then made the wife eat it.
Jesus, I know it's fucking.
It was crazy. I realize this book may not be for everybody. For me, this is just I like Catwoman, and I think to see her actually kind of struggle with what's going on. Everything's not black and white. She's seen some great green.
You know what this issue reminded me of a lot? I don't know why. Maybe it's like the tone of it feels this way. It feels a lot like Dexter. Like, have you ever watched Dexter on Showtime? Mm-hmm. It's like it's not exactly a horror show, but it's like a weird kind of thing to, like, you're watching a bad person try to be good, and it's delving into the world of bad people. Like, she met with those gangsters, and they were trying to get her to work with them, and she's like, no, I'm not going to work with you. And then we had that fight scene, which I thought was great. She thought she bought some weapons, and they turned out to be duds, wherever the fuck they were. I don't know what they were. And then she flies out the window, hits her car, and, like, it's a moment of comedy, but also a moment of, like, realism. Like, she didn't have time to, like, catch herself, so she fell in a car. But, like, the world she lives in, and the kind of, like, the Black Mask part, and then later on the main villain, like, how should they look, reminds me a lot of Dexter. Like, it reminds me of, like, being this creepy kind of story that is kind of, like, pulpish, but also, like, realistic enough that it's not fully cheesy.
I think it helps that we're not in Gotham.
Yeah,
and so it's you're getting just Catwoman. You're not getting the Batman part of the world, other than, yes, Black Mask is in this issue, or at least in the past, torturing this woman that Selena is actually at the mental hospital, or just a mental institute, or the hospital, wherever she's at, and having a conversation going, I failed you, and I'm so sorry. Everything that happened to you is my fault. Because because what were they, sisters? Were they stepsisters? Were they?
They're sisters, yeah.
They're sisters. Okay. Yeah. She goes, everything that happened to you is on me.
Yeah.
Because Black Mask wanted to get to me. He tortured your husband and then tortured you after. And if you and I weren't together or
she
related,
broke because of that experience.
Yep.
Like, he didn't really, like, damage her. The only way she damaged her was psychologically. Like, she can't live anymore the way. But then at the end we see that one guy coming in, and he was going to stick her full of something in a needle.
Yep.
So here's a question I have for you. Maybe you were paying attention more than I was. Is he keeping her that way, or is he going to take her somewhere?
I believe he was going to kill her.
Whoa.
I thought that, and maybe not. Maybe he is drugging her, but I thought because when he showed up, it was the first time I thought that he had shown up. when he's talking to the nurse, or
he
maybe
looks a little familiar. The only issue I have with the art, it looks fantastic, but I feel like some people look the same, especially guys.
yeah.
They kind of look the same, so I'm having a hard time distinguishing if we've seen this guy before, because that was my
And maybe that's the
thought at the
purpose,
end.
though.
Was like, have I seen this guy before? And I just wasn't. I was too lazy to go back and look, but I'm not sure if we met him before or who he is. I just know he's bad because it made him look bad, and the Catwoman was like, "What are you doing? Yeah,
Why are you doing
well, she
this
was She was Spider-Man in the corner there, but which, by the way, she must have some good legs. Like, how do you stay up there that long in the corner?
She, much like Bruce, is trained to physical perfection, and I assume she must still have her claws, so she's jammed, either holding herself up, and she's a gymnast.
I guess you're right, but I'm just saying that takes a lot of work, and I don't.
Well, I'm saying not you could do it.
Me
neither
watching it
could
was
I
enough work, so.
My abs hurt already watching.
I like in the past story when the kid got his
candy stolen.
candy stolen and they're bullying him. She just pulls out a gun and is like, "I'm gonna fucking shoot." Oh, Jesus.
I love that part where she goes up to the construction site, points the gun at him, and the jackass kid's like, "You're not gonna shoot me." She goes, "Try me." Oh,
Yeah.
maybe you'll shoot me.
I know. He's like, whoa, let's calm
just
down.
fooling around here.
We're just fooling around. I was like, yeah, now he's wimping out.
Yeah.
I just looked. She's actually grabbing like a pole or something like that in the corner.
Oh, okay.
So that's how. Well, I mean, I really like this a lot. This was a good 9 for me.
This was a solid 9. I actually really enjoyed Catwoman. I think she's one of those characters that, depending on who writes her, she either comes off really. I don't know the right word that isn't offensive, but they always kind of write her to be sleazy.
Yeah,
and this one, she actually seems like she's kind of remorseful, and feels guilty for what she's done to other people.
Here's the difference. In this story, she's actually used as a full-fledged character, trying to examine like why is she so bad? Why can't she like? And we see that panel where she's like flipping open the ring, looking at the ring, and she still has doubts about it, and she won't even sell. Like he's like, "I'll give you this for one ring," and he's like, "No," and she's giving something else. She's like, "No, this is not for sale." Yep. So obviously she saw some attachment to that. So there's some examination of her character, examination of her motives. Where in the past, any kind of cat story, I like at least the ones I've read are the bad ones, or she's just used as a foil for whatever the male character's motivation is. Yep. Like Batman, like she's only there to be the person that Batman saves, to be the person that Batman fights, to be the person that Batman, works with. And she's not really there to be Catwoman. She's there to be Bruce Wayne, like be with Bruce Wayne. Yep. So it's nice to see a series where we see her trying to sit there and be like, who am I? Like, I don't know who I am anymore. And that's why you see multiple Catwomans in the story in the past issues. It's kind of being like, yeah, who is she? Is she just a person in a suit? What makes her Catwoman?
Well, and it's nice that it's not just the persona of Catwoman. It's Selina gets time in the book.
Yeah,
because I get that. I mean,
that's what I like about the past story.
Catwoman is that there's more to it than just, and much like we see in Tom King's Batman, it's not just about Batman. It's about Bruce and how Bruce is this hero, or is he a hero, or is he, what is he?
Well, that's what we're seeing here. Is like in the past, we obviously saw that she stood up against the bullies, but she also stole. And she also pointed a gun at somebody. So, like, she walks that line, and this series is like, where's the line for her, and what makes her a hero, and what makes her not a hero, and where's she going to land? And that's what I find. That's what I keep on a car and almost die, or in the corner grabbing on a pole. So, I mean, the things I find most fascinating about this story is examining her character and seeing, like, who does she turn into at the end of this, and see if she goes back to Bruce or what happens.
It makes me hope that this book is at least a decent length. That it's not just like a 6-issue run. I realize that'd be only 2 issues left, but
another part of this that I find very fascinating is that in the whole Batman arc leading up to their marriage, a lot of it was making sure Bruce was okay and making sure like, oh, he's gonna be okay not being Batman anymore. And he has to prove himself to Selina's, girlfriends, prove himself to his ex-wife. It was all about Bruce. Obviously, it's this book, but we never saw from her perspective, like what she was thinking. Was she doubting? Like, did she really want to go through with it? We only saw the action, right? She left him at the altar. So it's nice to see now that we're actually seeing her side of it, because it always was a two-sided decision. But we were so focused so much on what Batman wanted and what Batman needed that when she left, it feels abrupt and being like, screw her. Why did she leave him there? But we never stopped to think about, like, what did she want? Did she really want to go through with it? Was she just along for the ride? And then she realized, like, what am I doing? So in that scene, when she's like looking at the ring, obviously she's still thinking about it. So I do enjoy that also in this series is like now we're getting the other side of the story. We can finally see like what was her part of it and what does she think about it. So I like the book a lot.
And so I won't be dropping this book anytime soon. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm curious though, like it can't last that long. Probably like 12-ish.
I'm guessing 12, maybe no more than 20, because I think this is one of those books that eventually she's going to need to have to go back to what she was doing. Or maybe she really is going to stay in the city for a couple years.
Well, I know that Tom's running to 100, and he's at 56, 54?
Yeah. 57, I
and
think.
like what, 2 come out a month?
Yeah. So it's another 2 years away.
And this book comes out once a month, so probably like 27 issues. That'd be fine with that. 24.
You should drop it. You'll feel better.
No, I love this book too much.
It's not that bad.
You know what you should be dropping? Superman.
Can't do it. Fan forever.
So we got Venom, I don't even know what number, 7, written by Donny Cates, art by Ivan Coella, and the cover art by Ryan Stegman.
So start of a new arc.
Way different than I was expecting.
Yeah, very, very different. So I caught up on Web of Venom 6 and 7 today. So I didn't really like the conclusion of the first arc. I didn't think it was that great. I thought the king of Venoms went down like a chump.
Well,
like
it seemed to be kind of a cop-out on how powerful he was the first 3 issues.
Right.
Just to get burned away.
Right, like, oh, I'll just throw a bomb inside you. Oh, okay, Hellboy.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one before. I still think the art looks amazing. Stegman on art is incredible. I think Donny Cates we all know he's a great storyteller. Jeez, can't finish words.
The Stegman didn't do this issue, though.
Yeah, what's the second? That's okay.
Well,
for a second, I was like, did I read the right issue? Stegman was on this issue?
I didn't want to. I just want to nip you in the butt that he didn't do this art, though.
Oh.
He did the cover for it.
Oh,
this
okay.
is Coella or...
Yeah, I was going to say, though, I did like this art a lot. It didn't feel like it lost anything. It definitely is not the same style, I don't feel like, but it is a comparable style.
It's good for what it was.
It's pretty clean. I like clean art like this, especially when Stegman's very clean and very expressive of his art. Like his characters are very like... I don't want to say I would say cartoonish, but I mean stylish, like very expressionist. So, but this person's similar.
Now, for the point being, this book should have just been called Eddie Brock, not Venom.
Well, no, it's still
he's
Venom.
dead now.
I mean, who's dead?
Venom.
Yeah.
Adios.
Venom has no consciousness. It's just
like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Right.
Spoilers.
It's just like a suit basically now that happens to protect him from harm. Like I thought that was a cool test to like show, oh, you got Marvin, you didn't talk about your favorite character being in this book.
Oh, the Maker.
Yeah, Maker showed up and I was shocked. I
enjoyed it a lot. It didn't
Why was he there?
Yeah, I was going to say,
I don't understand why he was there.
Well, he's part of that
secret society, the Outpost.
What the hell? I got to bring this up. Little 30-second sidebar. What's with every Marvel book having some kind of faction?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Captain's got a faction. Black Panther's got a faction. This has a faction. Hulk has a faction.
What happened to the good groups? Like
Secret Society.
The Brotherhood.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, why don't we get some fucking villains out on the pages here? Like, I'm just sick of the
it's always
Bring the
government.
Legion
Project,
of Doom
Black
into this or
Hammer,
something.
Doom.
It's always government secret agencies is what's showing up in these books, being like, oh, you don't know I work in the background. Like, it's not even S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. They can't turn S.H.I.E.L.D. bad again, so they just create a new organization that's government. It's almost like Amanda Waller in every book.
Just like, is there enough land in the whole world for all these agencies?
That's
to
why
exist?
I enjoyed seeing the Maker, and believe me, I did. But also, I was like, with Alex, I was like, why is he there, though? Like, why waste him?
Well, when did he get to town?
That's what I was wondering, too. I was like, is he in a different book?
It just seems like a random occurrence for him to show up and literally take importance to Venom. And it's like, I understand they want the
he wants a sample.
that little sample of the dragon, and it's like, who gives a shit?
Well, because they want to do what Nick Fury wanted to do way back when and weaponize it.
Yeah, look how that went.
Just like Dragonheart.
Yeah, but think of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Nick Fury,
Rain of Fire.
Their entire run of their existence.
You know who could stop that right away? Wolverine. He's gonna have those laser beam claws.
Did he stop in Web of Venom?
No, I'm just saying he didn't have the
No, he
laser
got
beam
overwhelmed.
claws. Yeah, but he didn't have the laser beam claws.
They're not laser beam claws. They're overheat claws.
Okay. My 1,000 degree antimantium claws, he'll just stab Venom and go, you're not part of the group. And you're like, holy shit, that's a great line.
Anywho, that's what I'm saying is like, just like Nick Fury tried to do, they want a way to weaponize this, and then also they want to know how to defeat it. So if they found a more powerful weapon, they would use that. So basically, they're trying to interrogate Eddie. Where's the sample of this thing? Because that's like the Holy Grail. Ever since that Web of Van Am timeline, which was what war was it? It was Vietnam. So is that like in the what?
Isn't that what it's called?
Van Am.
Nam.
Yeah, I know. I just couldn't remember. What the fuck?
Korean Am.
Never mind. I'm good. No comment.
Eddie Brock over
I
here.
thought the issue was okay.
It was fine. Actually, this issue kind of took a step back.
Well, it's the beginning of a new arc, and there's no Venom conscious. We don't learn anything.
But it's all the
Except-
things that... Sorry.
It's cool. The cliffhanger is just Eddie Brock figuring out that Flash Thompson's dead, which happened like half a year ago. So that's pretty crazy that he didn't even know that happened. But
Yeah, I was
Amazing me that he
confused.
cares.
I didn't read Amazing 800, so I was confused being like,
That's weird because we talked about it on the show.
no, I was confused on, like you said, why he cares so much. Being like,
Oh.
he's dead?
Yeah.
Like, okay, well,
I said I didn't think they were
if you
friends.
cared enough, maybe you would have noticed he's been gone for fucking half a year.
And weird
well,
thing
they were
though,
acquaintances in that book.
Were they really?
Yeah.
And wouldn't when Venom or the symbiote have told him? I guess no, because he was
not connected.
Flash was anti-Venom. That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the start of an arc. Nothing too crazy.
I know, but in my head, like a number one and a new start of an arc, that's your point to keep someone going. Like the jumping off point would have been at the end of this issue or the end of issue 6, and then to keep someone going, other than us liking Donny Cates and thinking he can write an amazing story, this issue was subpar. It wasn't. I mean, there's nothing.
This was
awesome
like a
about
6
it.
for me.
Yeah.
They explain the backstory though. That's what they were. That's their whole intention. Tying back from issue 1 is they want that sample of that dragon. That's what it comes down to.
Now, I would like to have seen that symbiote catch that knife and throw it back at the maker and kill him.
I was kind of mad that Miles just is not in the book anymore.
He got the shit kid down.
I know. Then he's like,
Go
lay
away.
low, and he's like, all right, and then he just left.
All right, you guys do your thing. See ya.
I was watching, so in the background, I had Family Feud on when I was reading this issue, and all the rest of my issues, I could read them and not be distracted. This one, I had to take a pause on, so that's why I'm going to give it a 6. I took a pause, being like, okay, let me watch this for a second because I can't just keep reading this book. And I think it's just because there's a lot of exposition, being like, here's who I am, here's what I'm doing, and Eddie being like, what happened to me? Oh, you don't remember? And it's like, yeah, jeez.
Oh, yeah, so we find out that for the last 5 weeks, Eddie's been on the run, getting chased by the secret organization, by the Maker, and then he woke up at his dad's house or a dad's house or some
That's the
old
scene.
man's house.
I hate that scene in any kind of media.
I went to my
And when there's like, he's like, what happened? Well, let me tell you. And then they just explain to the person what happened to them rather than show them a creative way being like, why don't we just see, and he goes, what happened to me? And then we just see it in the art and be like, oh, okay. So what happened?
I would rather have just the Maker gone, it doesn't matter where you've been, you're here now. Bitch slaps him, wakes him back up, tries to stab him. The symbiote,
But then it's just an excuse for them to do exposition of like, here's all that happens so we can skip forward some
It was to
time.
fill in
It's just-
pages where instead you could have had more of a story to this, and you watch Venom freak out that he finds out that Flash is dead because Venom was part of Flash, and maybe that's what we're building up to. But there's more that could have been done in this issue, and I'm kind of disappointed.
But then
by it.
again, I don't really like Venom too much, and I like the way
Venom doesn't like you.
I like the way the first 6 were different, and this just feels like going back to how like old
It
Venom stuff was.
always
So that's
is.
why I'm kind of like, hey, it's not for me. But it's, I mean, that's why I give
Are
it a
you
6.
gonna keep, keep getting this?
I got a
I'm
new
still
book called
keep
Farmhand.
getting
I'm
it,
gonna keep
but,
getting it until Donnie's off.
I think that God went down too easy, so that was just lame.
Oh yeah, like
He
one
went,
punch.
yeah, it was so bad.
You know who knows how to write a good God story? Jason Aaron.
Do you think Venom
God,
is
Butch.
Where's that
maybe
guy
One
been?
Punch Man? That's why he punched them once, and he's like, all right, dead.
No.
Done.
You know what? If he had shown up and punched him, I would at least. All right, I get that.
6. That's what I gave
I'll
it.
stick with a 6. It's a good answer.
I'm going to go 7. I did enjoy the art quite a bit. I thought that it was very visual. It wasn't super wordy, except for when the Maker was talking, but isn't that who the Maker is? It's kind of a wordy son of a bitch.
Eddie Brock was ripped. Holy shit.
Yeah,
He
in
was
the fucking
huge.
army.
Yeah, but he was fucking huge. No. Was Eddie Brock in the army too?
Oh,
I
no,
think
that's
it was
Flash
Flash.
Thompson. What did Eddie Brock... I don't know.
I mean, I know he was always in good
No,
shape.
but he joins the task force.
But I
the
mean,
Venom
he's
task
sitting
force.
in this little, like, hands locked up, huge shoulders. He looked like Mr. Incredible, all locked
You
up.
don't think if a symbiote's running around town, you don't gain some muscle?
But the symbiote would. I don't
The
think he
symbiote Mary
would.
could change his brain chemistry and not make him feel stuff. So obviously he put some steroids in there.
I suppose. And I guess maybe,
Folsom.
I mean, yeah, I guess that does make sense. Maybe the symbiote can't make him look like Venom, but he can still make him look formidable.
Yeah. When the symbiote gets out of him, then
at least this
then
guy
it's a
didn't
huge
look like
beer
Topher
belly,
Grace.
and he's like, it looks all gross. We're like, whoa, what happened to you, buddy? And no more symbiote gone.
Oh, I liked how they told us why Venom spits green.
That is cool. I actually did like that.
That was actually it made
That was a cool scientific.
That's how he shits. Wasn't he? Because he's
yeah. I
his
mean,
waist.
it's his
shit.
it's
He
his
just
extra.
yeah, well, it's
it's-
waste.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's waste, but
It's when
it
he
made
eats
me laugh.
people and
Going,
he's like, he can't get rid of any other way, so he spits
right
it out.
or metal or anything like that. I was
Yeah,
like,
and
that's
he-
pretty cool. I never knew why.
I just took it. He shits out his mouth. That's what I thought. So
well, he drools.
well, we
So
all
that's pretty
drool.
cool that like they kind of gave mythos behind the whole green drools.
Which, in all honesty, I just assumed it was saliva.
Oh.
But whatever.
Yeah, maybe I'll
6.
get it. Who knows? Who knows?
Talking about lackluster, our last book of the night, we got Wildstorm, Michael Cray, number 12, written by Brian Hill, with art by N. Stephen Harris, Dexter Vines. Yeah.
I will give Venom some praise because it held my attention more than this fucking book.
This was so bad. Art, are we dealing with like Migos, like, and little block figures? Like,
You know what made the
Legos?
first 6 enjoyable? That it was action packed and like it really like was at a pace that was like great, and the art was great, and had it moved forward at like 2-issue arcs, and like it moved forward, and then we got to this story which has been 6 issues. The payoff in this, by the way, he kills Wonder Woman in 2 seconds too, just like
oh yeah,
Venom
One
did.
Punch Man.
One Punch Man again here, Michael Cray. And then Constantine's taken care of already before the issue even starts. Well, actually, in the beginning of the issue.
He gets the shit kicked out of him by Michael.
Yeah. And then nothing happens really. Like they've been for 6 issues building up this thing that's going to stop the world and like open up this thing. And he's like, "Oh, it didn't work. Well, did it not work because you never knew how to do it, or did you actually sabotage it?" He's like, "Oh, you're not going to know."
That's part of the mystery.
Man,
Ridiculous.
it wasn't hard to read. There's actually a lot of silent panels, but it wasn't
Yeah,
interesting.
but they weren't good.
It wasn't interesting
silent
either. That's what I mean. This felt like wasting time, whereas the Captain America actually feels like they're for a reason. This feels like it was wasting time. Like
I don't get
To fill the issue,
I don't
dude,
get
like-
Michael Cray's powers anymore. He started out with having this like teleportation ability to having like, and now he's like purple veined and eyed and
so
like
now he-
can just punch hard. Like
he,
I don't
he
get it.
gave in to the host that's got him,
now
Yeah.
he's
and
full
now
host.
he's a god. And so when the host leaves him, Michael Cray's dead,
Yeah,
unless he can fix his spinal cord, because he got stabbed through the stomach or through the chest, depending on which panel you looked at.
Yeah, so he basically gave up his humanity so he could live.
Right.
So that guy could help.
I would rather have seen this whole big build up to Diana bringing these gods to Earth, and all this fighting she had done. I thought he was going to kill the whole pantheon of gods and then kill her. I was like, okay, at least at the end of this there were some stakes. There was nothing. When he gets to that final fight and she's like, I'm going to use my sweet goddess powers, it didn't work. She throws her lasso, and what the hell did he do to her? Electrocute her back, and her face went weird.
And there wasn't even
Wow.
anything, like when I said, I feel like this is going to lead into a different series, and then that series will be where Michael Cray goes. There wasn't even any hint he's just going to leave the U.S., right? Go international. So maybe that leads to a book, but there wasn't even like, hey, this is where you're going next. I didn't see anything to be like, here's the next book. I was actually excited to be like, hey, what's the next book? I thought they might announce on the back of these pages. I didn't see anything.
dude, that whole project's tanking. There's no way.
Wildstorm's so good. I still like Wildstorm.
Wildstorm's good.
fine.
I just mean the whole premise of the line. That's not happening.
Yeah, I know.
At
They
this
didn't
point,
release.
they lost steam.
They were going to do those miniseries, and it was supposed to happen, and then more come out, and then. But now at this point, this is on 12, and we only have a little
6
bit
left, I
of
think.
Wildstorm.
that.
6, yeah. So I don't know. Wildstorm's sort of good, but I think that's Warren Ellis. Brian Hill, I like a lot, but in this book, I don't know if the last 6 like.
This left a bad taste in my mouth, because when we were reading Detective, I thought he knew how to write Detective amazing, and I loved that book. I read these last 6 issues going, okay, it's got to get better. Maybe 3 issues into the second arc, we'll switch into something else. We'll find him fight Superman and Batman, and it'll be amazing. And I was left dumbfounded going, I just spent $30 on these books to not get anything interesting out of them. And the art just tanked. Every issue just seemed to get worse or more phoned in.
You know, we make fun of Alex for not having stakes. Well, this book like definitely nothing came out of this.
Well, the whole
Besides Michael Cray, that's it. What his
whole
powers?
duping Wonder Woman, like what she sees a pretty fountain with gods in it, and it's like ooh, and then Michael Cray's like, "Now I'm gonna kill you." Like what?
He did punch through her though, so that's
I know, but like
I'm just saying
that's the whole ploy. Is
Who's
distract her
gotta
for
punch?
2 seconds, then okay, now I'm punching you through the stomach. Like why can't you just go
Let
right
me
up
ask
to
you a
her?
question. Would you rather be shot through the chest or punched through the chest?
They both would suck. I think it depends.
I mean,
in all honesty, getting a fist that looked to be 4 feet wide bashed through your body, at least that killed it pretty quick.
And I'm pretty
Go through
sure
your spinal cord, you wouldn't feel it.
I'm pretty sure if you get punched through the chest, at least somebody would be like, "Holy fuck," and be like, "Of course he died. That dude's powerful."
Yeah.
If you get shot, then they think maybe you're not good at dodging. So
You had that coming.
this was a 4 for me. It wasn't good.
I'll give it a 5. I mean, I didn't find myself like leaving the page as much as probably you did. I mean, I wanted to finish it.
No, I didn't.
and
Actually,
read
this
it.
one, when I say it didn't hold my attention, I actually went through it pretty fast because there's like nothing on the page.
Yeah.
But I also was like, my eyes were like glossed over, being like, okay,
I just
go.
wanted to get it done.
That's what I was like. I was just like rushing through.
And
like, okay,
I would agree. I get because this isn't just okay. This isn't. I'm going to go with Sergeant America. This isn't just a balanced C. This really is like a D.
Yeah, 4.
So a 3.
3 seems good.
I really did not enjoy
It's
this.
not horrible. It's not
Unreadable.
a bad like put together book, but there's also no point to it.
Yeah.
So like I can't give it a 1 or 2, being like that's like reserved for like a book that's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this
Superman
is
number
nothing.
1. New
This is
52,
nothing. But
where I can't even make through the book. I read
if
it.
this had the plot had a payoff because we were waiting for it,
Yeah.
then I would have been like, man, this is great. Because I mean, the art it's not really a style that I like, but the layouts were fine and the writing was okay. There just was nothing there. Like the dialogue was fine.
I should have gone with my gut. I got issue 1. I'm like, I'm not gonna get issue 2. And then you guys are like, this is the best series
Yeah,
ever.
it was for
Jump
the
back
first
on.
but if you did stick
The
with that,
first 6?
And then I should have
Okay.
stuck with my gut.
so
You should have just got on Hoopla.
Arc-
The
Arc-
first 6.
seriously.
Arc 1 should have been Green Arrow like it was. Flash, Aquaman for those first. Then do the last 3. Do Hawkman. Do Diana or do
They
Batman.
didn't name
Here's the
drop
thing.
Batman, so yeah.
Once his team died, that book died.
Yeah.
Like once they were gone, then I was just like, this book's boring.
Right.
Like they added a lot to that book to like keep it going, and like him relating to them and trying to like work with them was a fun aspect. And then we had the cool thing of these cool villains that were supposed to be heroes that we know and the take on them. That's what was cool about this book, and the action scenes were put together. And then when we got to the last 6, it was just like, yeah, okay.
Well, and how he corrupted them, where you find out his powers when he, evaporates Arrow's arm off. It's like, oh, that's pretty sweet. And when he drives Flash crazy, and then just shoots him in the head. Like, oh, okay, that's pretty good.
See, when he killed those guys fast, it was great being like, whoa, like
He's a monster.
like how powerful this guy is. When he killed Wonder Woman, it's like if you build it up for 6 issues, then it just feels like, okay, whatever. Like,
So when he punched her through the chest, she should have like reached up and broke his arm off and then beat.
she should have ripped out her own spine and beat him with it to death, and then she would have fell over dead.
I mean, that's how ridiculous it should have been for what we got at the end.
I'm excited to see him in a different book.
I won't be
because-
getting anything else with Michael Crichton.
No, if he shows up in Wildstorm, that's
I'm
fine.
going to finish Wildstorm and
But
I'm done with
I don't think
world.
he was good enough for a 6-issue mini, and then that would have been it.
this DC universe. Not like I'm going to kill.
But even
myself
that
after
entire series, what was the point? I mean, yes, it was cool and badass to see him kill.
The 6 was fine, just
alternate
to see him use his powers and figure out who he was, and that was it.
like that would have
Yeah,
been a
but
fun
like-
introduction.
12 issues. I mean, but even if that 6 was the only story, that wouldn't be good enough.
No. I'm saying you take him figuring out who he was, like how he got all these powers, put that into the 6, and then that's it.
Okay.
Like cut out the.
Well, I said let that be the introduction to
see
this
Lex.
character and who we maybe at like the end of the last 4 issues of Wildstorm, he would have shown up and been like, "Hey, bitches, I'm
I tell
gonna
you
kick
something
the
though.
crap out of you."
There is one good thing we got out of the last 6. I said I saw Lex Luthor's ass, so that's good.
That's true.
Dude, Lex Luthor got some, so he's feeling pretty good.
And Constantine, I thought it was Constantine. It turned out to be Lex Luthor. So, those are the books we got this week. Catwoman number 4.
Captain America number 4.
Yeah, Captain America number 4, Catwoman number 4, and Immortal Hulk number 7. Michael Cray number 12. That's Wildstorm Michael Cray number 12. Farmhand number 4. Venom number 7.
Yep.
Those are the books we got this week. So pick them up wherever you pick up your books. I don't know where you go.
You know, the sad thing is actually my putting together this list was a little weaker than I was expecting.
Oh, it was really weak.
Well, I mean,
We should have done Flash. Flash was amazing.
My original list was immaculate, but somebody, we won't name who, is off of Flash. And the other
you
one
guys
of
could
us
have talked about it.
put a book on the list and then didn't buy the book on the list.
You guys could have talked about Flash.
I know one person that wasn't a problem or a monkey in the wrench of the whole list.
You're dumb shit because you said a monkey in the wrench.
That's the phrase.
It's a monkey wrench, not a monkey in the wrench.
You mean
It's a joke. It's like a ghost in the machine.
Anyway,
Wednesday comics every once in a while.
Lemon tuna ball.
If you are new to this show, if you started listening to the show recently, which is a good chance because we got a lot of people out of SuperCon, and I mean, people have joined on in the last like 3 months. So actually, we were doing good numbers. So I just wanted to say though that they've been missing the joy. One of the joys of this show is a character that hasn't been on here in a while, and he got captured by a comic book look. He got kidnapped, and I cried for weeks. It was like, you ever see Mystic River when he's looking for his daughter? I was looking for my son. So,
you know what me and Alex were doing? We were like fucking happier than we've ever been in our entire lives.
So they came and stole my bell, and I searched and searched and searched. I tried to find Sergeant America, but that guy's like a stealth bomber. You can never see him. Like, he's always gone. He's always working in the middle of the night.
To be fair, we actually got video, Garrett and I, of them breaking the bell and beating the shit out of it. It was, you know what? It was the best thing I've seen.
But it turned out it was a duplicate bell. They just did it to torture me. I found the orig, and I got him back. So here's what happened. The bell told me this all yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He had broken out of the house, and they didn't notice. He ran down the street and got a lift and came back to my house. So he showed up at the door, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And
thank God he could open up his app on his phone and
amazing he can open doors.
So he came together. Me and him talked about for a while. And I said, "Hey, we got to bring you back on the show." And he said, "Yeah." He's been back for a couple weeks, actually. So that's why I'm not too excited he's right here. We got used to each other again. And I said, Bell. I said, we got to come up with a game here where you can be involved again. Flashbacks, obviously, everybody likes flashbacks when you're in there. But I hit the bell too many times and these guys go crazy. Let's make you use sporadically. Let's not use you too much. You got to keep the power inside. This is like the genie. Keep him inside. So the game I came up with is a game that is similar to one we played in the past, but I modified it because I feel like this is more interesting. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do some comic trivia here. We're going to do 3 rounds of 4 questions, and you guys will be on a team to see how many points you can get. And everyone you get wrong, obviously, goes pop up, gets the points. But
I can actually win a game for once.
But here's how it works, though. You're going to get 20 seconds to answer the question. Now, in the past, we had a game called Hundo, and that game still exists, so it'll come back. Where if it was Garrett's turn, Garrett would give me an answer. Alex just says if he agrees or disagrees with Garrett's answer. If he says agrees, obviously Garrett's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm ready. If Alex says disagrees, that's all I can say. Then Garrett has to decide whether or not he listens to his partner or moves on. That was Hundo. That's not this game. This game here is called Compromise. So it'd be 20 seconds. I ask you the question, 20 seconds on the clock. You guys talk it out, and then I hit the bell after 20 seconds, and I need an answer. If you cannot give me an answer within 5 seconds, you have not reached a compromise, and I get a point. However, if you both have agreed on an answer, you tell me, and then you get it right, then you guys can get the point. And if you get it wrong in that instance, I won't take that point. I only get it if you guys can't come up with an answer, right? No, actually, that doesn't make sense because you just do it every single time. So if you get it wrong or if you can't come up with an answer, I'll get the point.
Okay.
So here's where we go. I get some comic trivia. This is from the internet, so I don't know if this should be right.
Here, explain the rules again. No, I'm just kidding. So what's the 5-second thing? I don't get it.
So
20 seconds to discuss it.
Within 5 seconds.
I hit the bell, and then I need an answer in 5 seconds. So within that 20 seconds, you need to come to a compromise. Even if you both don't believe, like if Garrett says an answer, you say different, you go, no, I think it's this. I need an answer. You need to one of you.
And if we're wrong,
one of you
needs
to be able to be like, okay, you go with your answer, 20 seconds, and give me an answer.
Okay, we got it. Let's do this shit.
Wednesday Comics Compromise.
Spider-Man. Batman.
Spider-Pig. Spider-Ham.
Spider-Gwen. God Spider. Why are they all spider people? Spider-Geddon. There you go.
All right, here we go. 20 seconds on the clock.
After
Alex
you ask the question.
has it here, but I'm going to ask the question first. Superman's red cape isn't only a stylish and memorable accessory, it's part of his history. Who originally made his cape?
Martha Kent.
20 seconds on the clock.
That'd be Laura.
Was Laura?
So, shit. Because, there are some instances where she makes his cape, but he was... No.
Originally,
Originally, it's Laura.
Didn't he come in the cape? Like when he got sent down?
Yeah, he got sent in. Laura stitched it.
Okay.
Yep. Laura
20
L.
seconds. You're going to say Laura?
Yep.
Oh, you have to. Can't push a button?
We're going to answer it.
Jesus Christ. Android. The answer is Martha Kent.
Not originally?
Originally part of the costume design by Martha Kent, the red cape had become part of the Superman image that was originally done for sensible and practical reasons that were more to do with the creation of the original comic than anything else of the story. To reinforce the idea that Superman can fly, the cape was given for the appearance of motion. Simple as that. So in the original comic, Martha gives it to him. Makes it for him.
Alex knows more about Superman.
In current continuity,
Right
Laura
up.
did.
Where's
Technicality.
Well, I said originally.
Just remember, there's 5. You got 1 point.
Okay.
Jeez.
No, there's going to be 12 total.
Oh.
So
Well, you got 1.
I got one. There we go. That's the first question. Of
You remember
compromise.
points, Alex, and play this game.
0.
Now, let's not measure your dick.
Whatever we... Oh.
Sorry.
Whatever we get.
Too easy.
Jesus.
Here we go.
Ready?
Oh. In what issue does Wolverine first appear?
Ooh, I don't know.
I need an
It's
issue.
Hulk.
Incredible Hulk.
Series and number.
Incredible Hulk 600? No.
What? It wasn't in the first 6? No, it wasn't. I don't know.
You guys have seen
No,
the
maybe
cover.
you're right. Maybe it was Incredible Hulk 6. I know they have the issue at Rainbow, and we looked at it. I just don't know what the number was.
That works with me. Let's do it.
Okay. Incredible Hulk 6.
Incredible Hulk 6. They both compromised, came to an answer. The answer is Incredible Hulk 181.
Ah, shit.
We're close.
Yeah. Give or take 100.
181, 1 and 8 and 1, 1 minus 8. Oh, it turns out to be... We got it.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
What secret identity is shared by Dr. Daniel Garrett, Ted Court, and Jaime Hernandez?
Is that Blue Beetle?
Yeah, it's Blue Beetle 100%.
Done.
You don't need the full time?
Nope. Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle, that's correct. So 2-1 here.
Watch, you would have said Booster Gold's best friend.
Fuck.
Oh, nice.
We still don't.
Ooh, here we go, boys. Guess Who's One probably would know this. Hashtag
Spider-Man,
Guess Who's
something.
One, so it's going to be Spider-Man related. No secret there. It is
Nova.
Spider-Man related. Which of the following events occurred is multiple choice.
Ooh.
In Amazing Spider-Man number 100. This is September 1971. Does Dr. Octopus and Ray Parker get married? Almost get married, excuse me. I left out a word. Almost get married. Does Gwen Stacy die? Does the original Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, die? Or does Spider-Man grow 4 arms?
Spider-Man goes 4 arms.
Cool. Spider-Man grows 4 arms. Done. Don't need time.
Don't need time, so you compromise. Alex said 4 arms, and you agree right away?
Yeah.
That's correct. 2-2.
Rock on.
How did you come to that conclusion right away, Alex?
He knew
Gwen
that. He knew
Stacy
Gwen Stacy.
was not 100. It was not an anniversary issue.
And it would have made sense that...
That Doc Ock storyline is from the animated series where he tries to marry Aunt May. I think there's a comic book series too.
and then the
but-
Green Goblin wouldn't have made sense happening before she died.
Right.
So we knew it had to be the 4 arms.
All right, 2-2 here. 2 of them you just got wrong. You did compromise on those. Then the 2 of them you got right because of the compromise. And within, I'm going to give you some praise here. Within 5 seconds, and you did the full time. So that's
You stupid.
2-2. Here's the next question. That was the end of round 1. So 2-2.
Oh, so it's going to get harder.
And a good round 1. Round 2. Here we go. Start of round 2. What silly Spider-Man villain was dressed up as a giant pig?
Giant.
Giant Chancho.
I have no fucking clue.
Rhino?
If we weren't recording this at 10:30, I would even give you the option to call your brother. But
Who's a doofus villain?
Rhino.
Okay, I'll go Rhino. I'll meet you at Rhino.
Minnesota Rhino. Okay, there we go.
Compromised Rhino.
Incorrect. Razorback.
Never heard of him.
That would make sense, though.
Why is that?
Arkansas Razorbacks. It's a warthog.
Hey, detective, where were you 15 seconds
Sorry.
ago?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Now he's like, that makes sense. That's what
I mean, I'm just saying it makes sense. Fucking 3.
Oh,
Oh, no, I actually was doing this like
That's
a
what I
bungee.
thought. I was like, what is going on here?
If you watch a deer do that, so the thing. Ridiculous. Okay.
Here we go, boys. You got it on the clock?
Turtle. Yeah, you're the fucking one who doing it. Do this fucking shit. By the way, you're not even ringing the fucking bell.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Whole point of this game.
Fucking, he hasn't used it once.
Well, he's
Ding.
he's getting used to it.
It's deceased.
Here we go, boys. Batman question. Batman for the Batman people. After the murder of his parents, Bruce Wayne, a.k.a. Batman, by the way, if you didn't know that.
Whoa.
They put in the question. Traveled to the Orient for many years and studied in various monasteries. Which of the following did he derive most of his philosophical and martial arts training? Multiple choice here, boys. Hinduism, Judaism, Christianity, or Buddhism?
Buddhism.
Why do you even start? We just told you Buddhism.
Time's up. What do we need?
Buddhism.
Buddhism, that's correct. So what do we get, Alex? What's the score?
3-3.
3-3, baby.
Not to flinch that one.
3-3, 2 questions left of round 2. Here we go. Here's another one here. Slam Bradley is a private investigator who first operated out of Cleveland, then moved his base of operations to New York City. Where did his adventure see print? And what label printed his comics?
What was it?
What's his name?
Slim Brady. Excuse me, Slam Bradley. That was a way wrong.
Slim Brady.
Slam Bradley.
Okay.
Slam Bradley.
I don't know who the hell it is.
Action Comics? Yeah.
DC.
19.
That could be Steel or something. No, it's not Steel.
He's been a recurring character in this universe since 1981. He made his first appearance in Detective. Oh, excuse me.
Hey, we got it right.
Shit.
What
What did you say?
I said DC.
Oh, Batmite.
Go ahead.
I'm saying DC. Which universe? DC.
Oh, DC Comics.
Did you say? Yeah. I gave it to you, you motherfucker.
Well, you said. Yeah.
I know. He made his first appearance in Detective Comics #1. I thought it was a nice little thing to give you, and I'd be like, wait, that's the answer. Fuck. Oh, wait. What's the score, Alex? What's the score?
4-3.
Do you think they do this on fucking Jeopardy? Does Alex fucking make us?
No, he's got pros that look through all the questions.
Okay.
He doesn't do all the work at one
Here we
time.
go. What's the score? 4-3?
4-4.
Who's got 4?
4-3, you and I. We're at 4.
Which of the following famous Marvel characters was not co-created by Stan Lee? Is it Spider-Man, the Hulk, Iron Man, or Captain America?
I want to say Iron Man.
I think Iron Man was Stan Lee. Was Captain America? No. Hulk was definitely Stan Lee. I guess maybe you're right. Maybe it is Iron Man. Let's go Iron Man.
Iron Man. Final answer. A hundo.
So that's your time?
Yeah.
Because you decided to recall it. The correct answer is Captain America. That's Joe Simon and Jack Kirby.
Damn.
It's way before Stan Lee's time.
Damn.
What's the score, Alex?
4-4.
4-4. It is tied up. We're going into the final round here. Oh, I thought you were going to punch me. Jesus.
What are you talking about?
The original, here we go, boys. The original Scorpio, criminal mastermind behind one version of the Zodiac, was originally the brother of which one of the Marvel Comics' most omnipresent characters? The original Scorpio, criminal mastermind behind one version of the Zodiac, was originally the brother of which of Marvel's most omnipresent characters?
Sure.
The Watcher?
Watcher.
Answer is the Watcher.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
I feel like I should just ring that when you're right. Because then it feels like you're right. No, I need at the end. Time is up. The answer is Nick Fury. Scorpio committed suicide in the pages of Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and came back as a S.H.I.E.L.D. LMD to lead a robotic
Nick
version
Fury
of Zodiac.
the So on a technicality,
Oh, shit. He's right. We should get that point back.
No.
Nick Fury's the fucking Watcher.
I needed the name.
The Watcher.
I just gave you the Watcher.
Oh, dude.
I want everyone to vote in.
Technicality, we were right. Just like technically, Martha Kent gave Superman the red cape, but
Yeah, I
in
said
canon,
that. Oh.
it's Lara.
Okay, I said that. Okay,
Originally.
so 5-4, you. We're not going to win
I'll
this.
give you that
It
point.
should
I'll
be.
give you that point
All right.
because I feel bad for you.
No, because you know we're right.
Okay,
So
so
we're
5-4.
One more Spider-Man question. Issue number 100 of Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, which came out in March 1985, ended on a cliffhanger. The parasitic costume that Peter had brought home from Secret War's planet waited in the shadows, ready to pounce on his former host and repossess him, perhaps forever. In the pages of which comic book would one find the conclusion of this cliffhanger? So it started out in issue 100 of Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. There was a cliffhanger, and the conclusion to it was in what Spider-Man title?
Amazing Spider-Man. Come on.
Start that time.
Amazing
Web
Spider-Man.
of Spider-Man.
Web of Spider-Man? Oh, I guess that cover starts with him in the black symbol. Oh, yeah. Web of Spider-Man.
Web of Spider-Man.
Number 1. But it's Web of Spider-Man. What else I got to do?
Do you compromise
Web
on
of,
Web?
Web of Spider-Man.
Web of
Do you
Spider-Man.
want to take it over?
No.
Are you right?
Web of Spider-Man.
Yeah, nice,
Rock on.
dude.
5-5.
No, it's 6-5.
No, I
6-4.
no, because he's gonna cry when we beat him. So I want to give him that chance to have
Dude, you
5.
fucking mic dropped him on that Watcher question.
I know, dude. Oh, the Watcher? Oh, no, I meant this one. This one I was way surprised. How did you know that?
It didn't make sense to be Amazing Spider-Man. And I was thinking it's not obviously not
I
spectacular.
think the cover of the web is him in the black costume.
I think so. You should ask Corey that and see if he gets it. We'll find out who the real Spider fan is. See what I
Here we
did
go.
there.
Here we go, boys. Here we go. 20 seconds on the clock.
Yep.
Hands on buzzers.
Okay.
We just talked about this guy tonight. So figure the question makes sense. We're on question 11 of 12?
Yep.
2 more left. It's tied up at 5. 2 more. Go anyway.
Should be 6-4.
In what issue did John Constantine first appear? In what issue? I need a series and number.
Hellblazer number 1?
Did he ever show up in the Swamp Thing issue?
I feel like he was in... I think Hellblazer came out first, man.
Or would he have been in Sandman?
Oh, no. I think... Okay, maybe Swamp Thing. Did he show up in that Saga of the Swamp Thing Volume 1?
I don't think so.
Saga of the Swamp Thing issue 23.
I don't think he's in it though. We can go with Hellblazer 1.
Okay.
Time's up.
Hellblazer 1. Compromised.
You're going to go Hellblazer number 1.
Yep.
The first issue that John Constantine appears is Saga of the Swamp Thing number 37.
Well, at least we would have been right with the title, but okay.
This one is definitely an issue one since people believe Constantine actually first appeared in Crisis of Infinite Earths, which came out the same month. Only DC knows for sure, but Swamp Thing number 37 is credited with the first appearance of Constantine. This issue is worth about $20. So
6-5. Marvin's ahead.
6-5.
Do you have a tie just in case?
Yeah, I got enough here. I got tons of questions.
Should be 6-5 right now. Real life.
Why is 6-5 the other way?
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes I may give you one because I feel bad, and then
No,
Alex-
it's my
then
my
Alex-
choice to not
Alex
give us
feels
that.
bad, and then he takes it back. So hands on buzzers. You guys ready?
Yep.
Are you ready?
Are you hundo?
Are you hundo? Who spots T'Challa? That doesn't make sense. I'm not going to tell you that question. I'm not going to fuck you over that way. I'm not going to fuck you over that question.
Say it again.
In the Darkness Batman crossover, Darkness wanted to find out what Batman fears most. Who did Darkness query? So who did Darkness ask to figure out what Batman fears the most? You know the Darkness?
No.
Did you know the comic book?
Yeah, I think I had the video game.
The video game is based on the comic book. So who did he wanted to figure out what Batman feared the most, and he asked one person, what does Batman fear the most? Who did he ask?
It's got to be Alfred. He's the consistent. He's the... Who else could it be? Commissioner Gordon?
No, they'd be Commissioner Gordon.
Dude.
But even Alfred just seems too on
Who
the nose.
knows the bat?
But he would. Yeah, I'll meet you at Alfred.
Alfred.
Compromise Alfred.
You still got some time. Talk it out.
No, Alfred.
No, we'll-
Talk it out. You got some
stick-
time.
We'll
Dude,
stick
it's
with Alfred.
Alfred.
We'll stick with
He's
Alfred.
the consistent.
You got some time. Talk it out.
Now we're good.
All right, time's up.
Alfred.
The answer is Joker.
Was it really?
When Darkness went to Arkham to ask Joker what Batman's greatest fear was, he responded by telling him a joke that made no sense. When Darkness questioned him about the joke's meaning, Joker responded, "You're the one who asked a silly question, and then you get and when you ask a silly question, I give you a silly answer."
So didn't even tell him who he's afraid of. Okay.
Yeah. But that's what he said. He goes, "What does Batman fear the most?" And Joker's like, "Nothing." So
No.
he just gave us. He said, "Yes, don't question."
Failure.
What was the score, Alex?
7-5.
7-5.
Should have been 6-6.
You guys are actually more on the page. Do you want to do 6-6?
I mean, technically you're right.
All right, I get you. This guy's gonna cry. He thinks
I'm just saying.
He thinks that
Alex is right. Nick Fury's the Watcher.
He thinks that I.
Spoilers: if you haven't read Original Sin, he's the current Watcher.
6 years ago.
Garrett always thinks these games are against him. So I just picked a random question.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
When's the last one I won?
Yep.
Tiebreaker. Get ready with this. You haven't hit the whole time. Batman did it. Superman did it. But which character was the first superhero to put somebody else in their costume while the original person took a break? Which was the first one to do?
Like in DC Comics or the entire comics?
And
industry?
entire comics.
I feel like it was Captain America.
Entirely.
No, Iron Man. Iron Man had somebody else as.
How many seconds have we got?
17 left.
You didn't hit that shit right away.
I made it 40 seconds.
We gotta come on. I think Captain America.
Let me check Captain.
Captain.
Captain America. He throws his mighty shield. But was he the first to throw his costume and somebody say, put it on?
Spider-Man.
Here's the thing. Incorrect. However, Garrett was right when he said Iron Man was the first one.
Yeah. I remember reading that volume 1. I remember somebody else wearing it, but
Oh, really?
I couldn't confirm.
It wasn't always Tony?
Mm-mm.
Iron Man was the first one. He gave it up. So you were on the right path, and then you decided this guy... You guys said Cap? Oh, I believe you said Cap. So
To be fair, I let him direct it because he knew.
that's what happens when you don't argue enough. You don't fight for what you believe in.
That was a fair loss, 7-6.
Yep.
7-6. That's compromise. It's Wednesday Comics new game where you guys didn't fight enough. Like this game is supposed to be.
What are we supposed to do?
We're a team agreeing on answers.
That's what happens when we're friends. If you and I are a team, we bitching back and forth the whole time.
I'm so surprised you knew Web of Spider-Man. That was supposed to give me for me. Didn't work out that way.
I like Spider-Man
When have you liked Spider-Man?
all the time.
You just got started getting his book. Getting it before?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, with what? 10 issues left before 800?
Oh, you're a fucker. I'll punch you right in the crotch. Right now, right here.
Wednesday Comics.
I'd gotten, what, 500 and...
Didn't you hear him fucking ramping up? Feel this fuck. Jesus.
578?
Feel it. Put your hand around it.
570.
It's been sitting here by the fan.
Holy hot,
It's fucking hot as hell, boy. I have it next to the exhaust fan of the computer now. It's like hot. Well, that's the way I like it. Wednesday Comics Wednesday Comics 605 at gmail.com. Send us your email. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you think. You know what? Actually, I'm going to throw this out there. And I've been saying this at Wednesday Comics on Twitter and at facebook.com/Wednesday Comics Podcast. One of those three ways, contact us with the book that you're reading that we're not talking about, that you want us to talk about.
You know who's going to do it.
I know he's going to say Aquaman. He's off of the book, so never mind. He won't do it.
He'll do it just to spite us.
There's a book out there that you're like, why are they not reading this? This is amazing. Let us know. Actually, I'm kind of looking to try something new. So, well, I'm dropping Venom, so I got to pick something.
Are you
else.
dropping Venom?
Who knows?
just told you that.
At
He doesn't know
Alex
anything.
Pastrello, at Garot2188, at Marv_Saguero. Follow
For the
us
longest
on Twitter.
time, we thought he was getting Flash, so...
Like us on Facebook and share us with all your friends. Garrett, we have a book club.
Wednesday Comics, League of Extraordinary Gentle People proudly presents
Saga the Swamp Thing, Volume 2.
Alan Moore.
Buddy. Let's go. Let's read this thing.
Continues.
Saga the Swamp
Oh,
Thing,
by the way, I don't know if
That's
they're
not even
still,
what I sound like.
I don't know if they're doing it. By the time you hear this, you might have missed out, but Comixology was having vertical sale, so Swamp Thing was on sale. for
One
$5.
thing, you wanted us to fight, this is how we're going to fight. It's not even on the game.
Not even on the game. Not your
Saga the
fault.
Swamp Thing, Volume 2.
Did you buy it already, Alex?
Yeah.
Okay.
I bought it when I got Sandman.
So we'll read that next. John Bolin said he would be back in the show. That'd be January 3rd.
Yes.
We'll maybe work it out to...
Tentatively, it's that week.
Yeah.
That's also the week of New Year's. So
Yeah, I know, so see.
we'll get back.
I might be hungover still. YouTube, find us on YouTube. You can see the Gauntlet on that show, and you can see... you can listen to this on that show. Go back and actually, if you're only listening to our show on YouTube, go back and look at our audio feed. There is an episode that was not put on YouTube just because YouTube likes to auto tag stuff and take it off the internet. So go there. You'll see the Sandman episode that we've been talking about, and hear us talk about Sandman. But also, we're looking to put more video content out there. If you have any ideas what you want to see, we're looking to do tours right again of our collection. Garrett, maybe not.
My living situation is under renovation right now. So.
Yeah, so
Absolutely
not now, but Alex has a lot of books he wants to show off.
We got a lot of books, but they're not organized. They look like Marvin.
Well, we'll give you some time.
If you want to see the scene in Star Wars New Hope, like the trash compactor, and find all Marvin's comics, we'll show you his too.
Oh,
605.
I thought you were going to burn yourself.
605-215-1849. Send us a voicemail. Let us know if you want to see that.
Just imagine tentacle.
That's what this room is. It's just a bunch of books here. That's why I say I get Cap here somewhere. Who knows where? You know what? I was going to read, catch up on Doomsday Clock. Because I didn't read the last issue and the newest one that came out. So I bought the newest one digitally, and I had the other one physically, but I can't find it.
Really? No.
Surprise.
Not in here. Not this organized room.
Roots of the SwampThing.com, your definitive source for all things Swamp Thing. Go there and catch up with the Avatar of the Green. Then swing back about January, and we'll talk about Saga Swamp Thing number 2, so make sure you're caught up on the Swamp Man. Make sure you subscribe to the show on iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, or Spotify. Spotify's a big one. I wouldn't have thought about it.
I'm surprised you don't put that board up on the wall.
I know, right? Well,
where it makes sense, where you can
Alex,
see
we
it.
just talked about we're fucking in it. Comics are everywhere in this room. So you got a chance to put nail to wall. I got a chance for that.
Well, they make command strips. Put it up for a minute, an hour. Then you can hang it
I
just
should probably
fine.
just take down that fucking calendar and
Yeah, it's still on September, so.
Hey, it's the closest it's ever been lately, so.
Also, right in, I'm curious. We do a bunch of these special one-off episodes every once in a while. We did one of Campfire Stories last year. Halloween's coming up here. We got Thanksgiving coming up.
It's like
you guys
2 months ago.
Campfire Stories?
Yeah.
No. We did a different one last year.
That's the
For Halloween
Supernatural.
last year, we did one. It was called Campfire Stories. We
Okay.
talked about horror books. Supernatural, that was different.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was our back matter.
So let us know if you want to do something like that again. I would imagine for Thanksgiving, we're probably going to do something like that. Maybe a commentary. If you want us to watch a certain movie, let us know. 605-215-1849. We usually, anything comic related, we'll do a commentary on that. So, send in suggestions. We're always here to listen to the people because I am a man of the people. So I'm going to go out there. I'm going to run for president.
You know what movie we need to watch that's technically comic book related now? The Raid.
Well, first off, I don't need you interrupting me. I was about to pitch my run for the presidency. And now you
That's
come
why
at
he
me
was
with the
saving
raid.
you from
Yeah, I was
keeping your
trying
mouth
to
shut.
do you a favor. But
2020 Sagoro Bell. This is my running mate here. And all I got to do is try to debate me on something. Right, go ahead.
hey, you do a shit.
And eventually, we'll pass. So when you go to the polls this next November in 2 years, make sure you pull that little handle for Saguaro Bell 2020. Because you know why? We have a vision. That was horrible. Kill me. Wednesday
With
Comics.
pleasure.
For Wednesday
We need
Comics,
you to the show.
I've been Marvin.
I'm Alex.
I'm Garrett.
Hey, everyone. Keep turning those pages.